Let's make 2 stone planters in this landscaping bed to house these fruit trees. First, let's make a form, because we're going to need our foundation to be nice and strong. So this will be the form for the concrete. After me and my son leveled out the sand and the dirt a little bit, we were able to plant the stakes. This is essential to getting the planter nice and square. Once that was done, we trenched it down a little bit and compacted it in to add a little drainage rock. Take this pole and stuff it in these holes. Okay, that's weird. Now we add that form. Let's put our stakes and level it out. Doing outdoor projects is not one of the things I usually tackle. You know me, it's always about furniture and woodworking. But we just purchased this house and we had a pool installed and our boring backyard was looking kind of drab. So I needed to do a few extras just to make it pop. We want to do a lot of stuff here in the winter so that way in the spring, we're going to be ready to enjoy it. So pouring this foundation was actually oddly satisfying. I actually enjoyed this work and I would have never thought I would have enjoyed concrete work before. Now this doesn't have to be perfect as it's not a slab. The only important thing here is that it's strong and level. After all, it is going to be my foundation for this alabaster planter. I'm building 2 of these, so I had to do 1 on each corner of the pool decking. And while those are setting up and curing, we're going to move on to some of these shrubs real quick. Depending on where you live, I definitely wouldn't skip the landscape fabric. This is a must. In previous years, I've skipped it, and fighting the weeds was a year-long battle, so I no longer do that. These have had time to cure, so let's remove those forms. I'm digging it so far. It's not perfect, but any foundation just needs to be square, like I said. Now let's move on to a dry fit test. I always want to make sure things are nice, level, and square before I start setting it in with adhesive. Once I went around all of these pieces, they went together like jigsaw puzzles. They kind of locked in place, and they were really nice and firm. Now we're using construction adhesive. I went back and forth with different methods on this, but after doing some research and watching concrete and landscape guys use this for retaining walls, I was like, gosh, it's got to be crazy strong. So I did a bunch of research, and it is. You just have to give it time to cure. So we're going through now and Loctiting all these pieces together. Originally, I was going to use center blocks, but then I came across these at Lowe's, and they were called alabaster puzzle blocks. And I was like, man, this looks really cool. I love the look, and I thought it would be strong too. So we just have to give it 2 days to cure, and we're moving on to the shrubs. And I have to say, it's freezing outside. I'm literally freezing like Frosty the Snowman. But I'm moving, I'm keeping things going, trying to get that blood flowing. I'm adding these edge guards for landscape rock. Initially, I was going to go pine straw, but I thought that would be too messy near the pool. Now let's get back to those planters. These trees are pretty awesome, right? Now I've pruned them up to make them look pretty, but these are agave pineapple trees, so that should be fun. I filled it up with dirt and soil, and then I started painting these planters. After looking at it, I just didn't feel like it had that dimensional pop that I like to go for. We love black and brown, and I feel like this black will really pop off the grass in the spring when it's nice and green. The hoses and cords you see popping out, those are going to be tied in with the irrigation system and the outdoor lighting here shortly. But let's move on with that gravel. I'm using pea gravel for the center. You know, again, that silly dimensional pop. And that black lava rock on the outside. I'm really digging how this is turning out so far. I just wish we could see it with the green grass right now, but hey. It's wintertime, and what are you going to do? It's all dormant. Now that pea gravel looks like it doesn't match, but it's wet. As soon as it dries, it will look awesome. I also wanted to continue around these planter beds with that landscape rock. So I just need to remove the sod, add a little fabric. I put miters on the edge guards just so I could get those tight seams. You know, maybe it's the perfectionism in me, but I like it. Then we're going to add a little pea gravel, once again, just to help with that pop. Although outdoor landscape is not really my thing, I really had a blast on this one. I think I added some cool effects and cool colors, and I can't wait to see these fruit trees blooming. But everything so far really looks awesome. I still have other work to do on the fence, the back planter, and a whole bunch of other fun stuff in the yard that I'm going to be building. After all, this is the winter, so I'm moving a little bit slow because it's a little bit cold. But I'm going to be banging these projects out so we can enjoy them in the spring and summer.